So you've started your social media marketing agency, you've successfully gone out there and found a media buyer, but now you're wondering, how do you go about charging clients? Should you charge them ad spend? How does the media buyer get access to the ad spend? Like, how does all that work? Well, in today's video, I'm going to break down just that. So guys, welcome back to the channel. Montel Gordon here. Hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe. Hopefully this COVID is now finished. I think things are going back to normal. Anywho guys, if you're new around here, please drop a like, comment and subscribe, and make sure you turn on that notification bell so that you get notified every time I drop a upload regarding SMMA, entrepreneurship, personal branding, you name it. Also follow me on Instagram and send me a DM if you have any questions or whatnot. So guys, the other day I released a video talking about, taking payments from clients, and then I got a DM of a dude asking me a question about how do you go about setting up the payments and how do you go about like charging like your ad spend. So you see, when it comes to closing clients, guys, you do not want to charge ad spend, and I'm gonna keep this video like super short. I'm gonna try to keep it super short because you guys know, if you're not new around here, that I just blabble on most of the time. But guys, look, what you want to do is whenever you charge a client, so let's say you're working with an e-commerce business, you've charged them $2,000 per month. That's your retainer fee. That is not your ad spend. So what I mean by that is, and a lot of people, and I myself used to get confused about this when I was very first like starting to hear about SMMA. So I was thinking, out of that 2K, how much do you put towards ads? And the actual answer is you don't put any, not even a single penny or cents, if you will, towards ads from the actual retainer fee. And what you need to do, and if you guys are obviously in the 4-week mentorship program of mine, you guys know that we don't charge ad spend, and you guys know how to position it in terms of why your ad spend is different to your retainer fee. So guys, what you need to explain to your clients is that your retainer fee is completely separate to your actual ad spend, because your client actually decides how much ad spend they want to spend. It could be 5,000 a month on ads, 10,000 a month on ads, just 1,000 a month on ads, whatever it may be. It depends on obviously the size of the business, what sort of business they're in, that sort of stuff, the audience size and whatnot. All those factors actually have to be taken into consideration. Now guys, look, when it comes to having a media buyer as well, this also confuses a lot of people. So I'll quickly break it down for you guys and try to keep this video below maybe even 7 minutes. Let's try go below 7 minutes real quick. So guys, look, when you have a media buyer, you want to go to your business.facebook.com. So you guys know about the business manager. If you're watching this, you probably should know about the business manager. If not, go to business.facebook.com, create a business manager. Then what you want to do is you want to go to the settings section of business manager, and then you want to go to the I believe it's the people section. I think there's like a user section, then there's like a people section. Click on that people section, and then you want to add, I think there's like a little blue button in like the top left, the top left corner of the screen. You then want to click on that add, and then it will say invite somebody to work as an employee, and you want to give them employee access, not admin access. So what you want to do is click on the little blue button, add your actual employee, so your media buyer, quote unquote employee. It's not really employee on paper if you do it the way how I teach you to do it in the actual 4-week program. But essentially guys, you want to give them employee access. Now what you want to do here is just input their email. It should automatically pop up their Facebook account if they have it linked. I believe, don't quote me on that, but essentially what you want to do is just put in their details, whatever it says on the actual screen, just put in their details. So it's probably going to be your media buyer's email address. Put that in, and what it will do is it will actually invite them to your business manager as an employee. Then what you want to do guys is whenever you close a client, you want to access their ad account and all their assets such as their pixel, their ad account, their page, their Instagram, all that sort of stuff through partner access. And that's just a little, you get basically a business ID number. You want to give your business ID number to your actual client, let them just copy your business ID number and access it as a partner basically. So you want to set up a partnership like that. Now this is where it gets a little bit confusing, because in the actual 4-week program of mine, you guys know exactly that I have an onboarding process, and you guys get to replicate my onboarding process, and I just put my little ID number underneath the video that I actually create, so clients can basically onboard themselves. If you're doing this over the phone, you're probably going to want to take your client's ID and just put it in, because they might not know what they're doing on their end. So just do like a video like screen share. I don't really recommend doing it that way. I recommend you actually build a fully automated onboarding process. Use either ClickFunnels or YouTube to actually do that. If you don't want to pay for ClickFunnels, you guys know you can just use YouTube, and I teach that in the 4-week mentorship program. But essentially guys, what happens from there is you onboard a client, and then you give yourself access to their page, their Instagram page, their actual ad account, and you want to make sure you get access to their pixel as well. You also, and that's admin access to all of those. Then what you want to do is give your contractor access to their ad account and all their other, it depends on what they're doing, of course. If they're just going to be a media buyer and they just need to create ads and report and actually set up and manage the campaigns, you probably only need to give them literally access to the Facebook page and the actual ad account. You probably don't even need to give them access to their Instagram unless you're running Instagram ads. I believe, don't quote me on that actually, because I believe it's literally just, if you give them access to, if you give your media buyer just access to the ad account, I believe you're all good to go from there, to be honest with you guys. So this is where the payment comes in. So let's say you charge an e-com client 2K per month for your retainer. Again, your retainer does not include ad spend. Ad spend's on top of your retainer. So if you're charging them, 2K per month, that $2,000 per month is yours to keep. You don't take a single penny out of that and pull it towards ads. The reason being, guys, is because if you start charging your clients ad spend, first of all, it feels like they're being kind of double charged. You're charging them for the retainer and the actual ad spend. Not only that, but it can get messy when it comes to actually doing your cash flow and your books, basically, because it's like sometimes you might spend $900. Then what happens with that $100? Do you refund it back to the client, or do you just keep the $100 and pocket it for yourself? So what you want to do, guys, is just literally get your client to set up their card, and I highly recommend they use their actual card. I think there's 3 different payment types you can actually use when it comes to an ad account. You can use PayPal. I don't recommend you use PayPal at all so whenever you're telling your client to set up their ad account, if they don't already have it set up, that is, don't make them have their PayPal attached to that. Facebook actually prefers it if you have an actual bank account linked to it, not the actual card. So there's 3 different types of payments you can actually hook up to an ad account. Like I said, PayPal, there's your bank, the actual bank, like your actual bank numbers that you can actually use, and then there's your actual card. However, I've noticed, I've not actually experienced this myself, but I've heard a lot of people in the industry talk about that, and top gurus talk about this as well, that you want to actually connect your bank account to your client's bank account, to their ad account basically, and not their actual bank account card, like the bank card, like the actual card numbers is kind of confusing. It's kind of confusing, I know, but you don't want their actual card on the actual account, basically on the ad account. You want their bank actually linked directly to the ad account, not the card, basically. So hopefully you guys get what I mean by that. So what's going to happen then is your media buyer is going to have access to the ad account. He then, or she can then start creating ads, creating the audiences, split testing different things, and start actually running them and monitoring and managing the actual ads. What's going to happen is when they actually start running these ads and they're spending $10 a day, $20 a day, $50 a day, $100 a day, $1,000 a day, depending how big your client is, they are going to directly spend on your client's ad account, and that ad account's connected to your client's bank, basically. So the money just comes straight from your client's ad account, which is attached to their bank, so it just comes directly out of their bank. That's how you go about setting that up. So hopefully I've kind of removed all confusion. Hopefully I've kept this video quite short. But essentially, guys, when you have a client, you want to make sure your media buyer is set up as well as a employee. You then give your employee or your media buyer access to your client's ad account, and you just want to give them, you can give them admin access if you want. That's what I do personally, and then they can just spend on behalf of your client, and your client actually sets up their ad account so it has their bank on their actual ad account, not your bank, not your media buyer's bank. It's your client's bank account on their actual ad account, and those 2 things are linked basically. And then when your media buyer creates ads, they spend money on your client's card basically. So that's how it goes, and it keeps everything very smooth, very streamlined. You don't need to worry about charging your client's ad spend, or taking money out of your retainer to actually then put towards ads. And again, you want to explain to your clients that your retainer and the ad spend amount are 2 separate entities. Your retainer is your retainer. What you get to keep is your service charge. You get paid for your expertise, basically your knowledge, your employees or your media buyers' time they've learned to learn Facebook ads. That's what they're paying for, your expertise and the management of the actual ads and making the money. And then your ad spend is basically how much they want to spend on their ads, and that's a completely separate entity. And I tell my clients that's up to you how much you want to spend, but we recommend X, Y, and Z. And that X, Y, and Z is obviously dependent upon the audience size, whether the audience size is even big enough, and that's obviously daily ad spend budget. But I'm getting into a different topic here. But essentially, guys, that's how you go about doing it, how you set it up, and how you keep it very organized, very streamlined. And hopefully I answered that dude's question, so I can just send him this video. And if anybody else has the same question, you can just use this as a reference and a guide point, if you will. With that being said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you like this, please make sure you drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video pretty soon. Peace.